Hey, hi everybody. This is what an awesome sight behind me. You can see the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. If I pan across here, you'll get a picture of the actual city, and there's Alcatraz somewhere around here. This is a fascinating place. It's just so great to be here, being so beautifully hosted by some of our good friends. I want to start talking about another verse in 1 Thessalonians 5 verse 17 that says, pray without ceasing. That's an interesting thing. That conjures up different thoughts in your mind. That thinks of one long prayer meeting in the whole of life. But let's delve into this for the next couple of days, shall we? First of all, we need to understand that you can make a play on these words here. We talk about praying without ceasing. Some people don't need to do that because they never pray, so they don't need to cease to pray because they don't even know what it is to pray. I think they're of the time of Noah, where Noah was telling people to repent and turn to God, and people say, we don't believe in God, we don't want to know this God of yours, we don't need to pray, and you can't cease from something that you're not doing. Sadly, in the world today, there are people just like that as well. But then you get people in the second category who pray between ceasings, where they only pray when they need to pray. These are the people who have a crisis, and these are the people who have some kind of need, and so they'll pray all right, but then they cease to pray between their crises. So we look at all these different aspects of what prayer looks like. So I just think of the crowd with Elisha who were in desperate need of knowing the will of God, of finding the will of God and the purpose. And so they go to Elisha and they say, Elisha, we don't normally pray, but Elisha, can you help us? We really need to pray right now because we're in such desperate need. Can you please tell us what we should do? Now that's a travesty. I find that almost an incredibly sad thing that people would pray just because they have a crisis. And I understand that we go to God at a time when we're in specific need, but if that's the only time we ever go to God, then I think we've sold ourselves short, and we've made God just like a cosmic Father Christmas, that when we want something, we go and ask Him for it. So I want to look at what praying without ceasing looks like. Let's write off those two categories, and we talk about those who pray without ceasing from the point of view of those who understand what it is to practice the presence of God. Now, this is a key theme for us to understand what it means to be constantly in the environment of prayer, to be constantly looking to God throughout the entire day. It's not a place where you just go up into the mountains and you become like a monk and you sit out there and you think that means pray without ceasing because there's nobody else there and there's no distractions. I'm going to tell you, I think this concept is the most powerful in its application in our daily lives. To pray without ceasing means that we understand that God is continually with us, that God's ear is always open to us. And I hope that over the course of the next day, to teach you a technique of prayer that might be useful to you. I think there might be some who are doing it already. We call them breath prayers. And these are the prayers that you pray. They're just one breath long, and you can pray them all day long, every situation, every circumstance, every aspect of life. And you can be driving your car and you can pray a breath prayer. You can be facing a crisis and you can pray a breath prayer. You can pray these breath prayers any time of day or night if you understand the fact that God is always with you. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that tomorrow, but in the meanwhile, let's have a look at what praying without ceasing looks like. If you're one of those that doesn't need to listen to this because you never pray, so you can't cease from what you're not doing, then you need to turn your life around. If you're one of those who just prays between crises, then maybe this is an opportunity for you to do a whole lot better and learn to practice the presence of God and understand the dynamic of praying without ceasing. We're going to talk about this more tomorrow. Cheers, guys. Just enjoy that view for a moment. There's the city behind, and there's the big old Golden Gate Bridge. Have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.